Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I am your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We believe in the 4 C's, and that is content, commerce, communication, and community. Digital hospitality is our deep thesis. We've been putting on this show since 2017, trying to find the best technologists in the world, the best hospitality professionals in the world, and the best storytellers. Today, we have a very special guest. His name is Kshitiz Sanghi. He is the co-founder of Voosh. If you don't know about Voosh, we did an episode with Priyam Saraswat earlier this year, a phenomenal episode, but this is going to be a little bit more behind the scenes. So I'm very excited to welcome Kshitiz to the show. Kshitiz, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Shawn, for having me here, and very excited for this show. I told you I've heard a lot about you, and really excited for this.
Well, tell the audience, did you hear good things or bad things?
I just know that you serve really good food whenever someone meets you, and then everything around is perfect. So yeah.
Well, please let's get the backstory of when did you meet Priyam? Because we have a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to this, a lot of restaurant owners, technologists, and
correct.
We're always trying to find ways to build a team. And the best way to build a team is to find a co-founder. So you don't have to do everything yourself.
Correct. So definitely. So Priyam is someone that I met in Bangalore in India 3 years back, around 2020. And we were staying together in a service department. So we were flatmates in a service department, and we were very good friends. And both of us saw that both of us are very entrepreneurial in nature, and we are striving, and we wanted to open something of our own. And both of us luckily happened to be very interested in the hospitality space. So we started talking, and then one thing led to the other. We were talking to restaurants continuously here in India, that what are your problems, what are the things that you miss that you should have, etc. So after talking to, let's say, maybe like more than 200 restaurants in Bangalore, we came up and started up Voosh. That's like way back in 2020.
Wow. And when you identify, what was the problem that you guys identified talking to 200 restaurants?
So the problem was the lack of standardization that each one of these restaurants had, right? Because of which they were unable to create a brand of their own, right? So we understood that the entire market, right, in India is governed by the bigger brands. Let's say McDonald's of the world, KFCs of the world, etc., right? They are taking up 80% of the market. Now, what is happening with the lakhs and lakhs of SMEs or small and medium businesses which are there, like the smaller restaurants, they are unable to compete primarily on the quality bit, on the profitability bit, on the sales bit. So a lot of these challenges are not letting them come under a branded chain. So we started standardizing them. We started giving them a brand of our own, right? So that people recognize them as someone who can be trusted for their daily food needs, right? We've started to provide them with technology, a lot of training, and then we sort of created a brand under which we used to sort of give them our franchisee. So that's how we started in India.
And how did the Y Combinator come about?
That was very serendipitous because me and Priyam were discussing that, okay, we got to raise funds for our startup, and how do we sort of get the best on board, right? And then we discovered that there's Y Combinator, who's like the I would say the cream la cream, or let's say the premier and the Ivy League of startup accelerators, right? Wherein you get a lot of good guidance from really good folks along with the money that you need. And we started filling for the application. We started writing the essay that they have. We started creating our own video, which is a part of the application. And you guys should check it out. It's on YouTube. It's really fun.
Oh, I would love
you.
We're definitely,
you'll see me and
we'll put a link. We're going to put a link to that video for sure.
Yeah, you'll see me and Priyam in a totally complete, different avatar.
No way.
And yeah, so one thing led to the other. We got the interview invite. The interview went really well. And within few hours, we got a call from YC partners saying that you are in. And that's how it happened.
That's amazing. Can you tell me more about the video? As anyone that listens to the show, they know how obsessed we are with storytelling and showing versus telling. And when you're in a video, you show who you are. Tell me what were the parameters around the video. The results are in. National Restaurant Association show. Kyle and Sarah and myself, we were at the Davos sales tax booth and we were polling restaurant owners on the floor. This was a very unscientific poll, but the results are resounding. Restaurant owners do not like sales tax. Nobody likes sales tax. Doesn't matter what business owner you are, small business, big business. Davo automates the sales tax process. We are so grateful that Davo is the sponsor of this show. They automate sales tax at our Cali barbecue restaurants. It is $50 a month. It integrates with all the major point of sale partners, including Toast. So if you want to sleep at night, if you want to not worry about sales tax, go to Davo, check them out, Davo Sales Tax. Let us know how they're helping automate your sales tax in your restaurant so that we can share your Davo story on digital hospitality.
So YC mandates every applicant company to sort of upload a 1-minute video that tells the YC folks about your company, right? That what problem are you solving? What is something unique, or what is the progress that you have made till date, right? What we believe in is that how can we sort of communicate a story about our larger vision? That's what me and Priyam discussed during that time, that instead of going into operations of it, in 1 minute, can we leave an impact on what vision do we have for the company, right? And that's how we made it very interesting. We made it a little fun, added a little humor to it, and we stressed upon the vision and the problem statement much more than any other thing that was required. And I think that really hit the jackpot, and it worked out to be into a successful interview as well.
Do you have any idea how many people apply? What's the application
Uh,
rate?
yeah, I think across the year there are like 30,000 startups that apply across the world, if I'm not wrong. And across the year, I think within 2 batches, 500 to 800 companies get in.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like really tough to crack a YC. Yeah.
And what is the program? Give me a little bit of background of what you guys
Yeah.
went.
Correct. So it's a 3-month program. The YC works like a startup school, like an accelerator that, and you get divided into a group of 3 partners, right? So every startup would be part of a particular group, which will be led by 3 YC partners who are very, very experienced entrepreneurs and investors themselves. And they'll guide you, they'll teach you about, let's say, fundraising, about product building, about sales, marketing. And then there are other YC alumni coming in, like, let's say, Airbnb founders took our session, Stripe founders took our session. And then it's like a one-on-one. They sort of help you, and they'll tell via stories and case studies of how they succeeded, what problems they went through, etc., etc. And after a course of 3 months, there's a demo day that your YC partners prepare you for, wherein you go out to the world and start your fundraising post YC.
Do you remember a particular story from any of those founders that made an impact on Voosh?
Definitely, definitely. I think from Brian Chesky, who's the CEO of Airbnb, he emphasized a lot on doing things that don't scale, but at the same time, he told that 100 people who love your product, right, are far better than 1 lakh people who just find your product to be okay, right? So he just said that there's this amazing correlation between things that you should do at the start, which are very, very non-scalable, which just are focused towards your customer end to end, so that they start loving you more and more every day. And then these 100 customers go and tell other people, these people tell other people, and then you organically have this beautiful mass of customers which not only find your product okay, but these are the same people who will go to their lens and discuss about your product with the relevant folks that you want as customers. So I think that thing really, really stuck. And from day one, that has been our focus on how we can be the voice of the customer. How can each one of our customer love us to an extent that they go ahead and sort of promote our product to the other industry folks who are relevant to be our customers.
That's I love that story. It's so interesting to think about, because we work with small companies, we work with big companies, hearing the origin story, and then doing things that aren't scalable don't make sense. When you're selling a big vision and you're trying to pitch investors and you're trying to do it quickly, ultimately what is going to win. It's that consistent, persistent pursuit over time of knowing like
Correct.
really the most important thing is how you build your team. Can you talk about the
Correct.
team? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and what is
Yeah.
Priyam's strengths and what is his weaknesses, and how did you guys build from
Correct.
that?
Correct. So I think we are very complementary in terms of what I do versus what Priyam does. So there's a very great mix of, I would say, strength and weaknesses. I am great at, let's say, building a product. Priyam is great at selling it, right? So we do that. And yeah, we lead the respective functions at Woosh. In terms of hiring, I think we have a very similar philosophy. We believe in complete, I would say we completely trust our team members. And that is something that you must have had understood while talking to our team as well, right? In some way or the other. If we are sort of giving a lead to a particular person, we'll ensure, both me and Priyam, that we are like giving all the support which is required for that particular person to succeed in his or her particular role or job. So I think very, very similar beliefs. And then I would say again, anyone for us, um, capability to learn and uh, motivation to learn always comes ahead than somebody who's like very learned but not ready to sort of adapt, right? So I feel anyone who's coachable, anyone who's motivated to go and conquer the world is more important than anyone who feels they have conquered the world but maybe may not adjust to the market situations and the agility required for a particular function. So I think these two things, both of us are on the same line. Yeah.
Hey everyone, Avi Gorin, CEO and co-founder of Marquee, and I want to talk about the customer journey for a second. You never know as a restaurant owner where your guests are truly coming from. End of the day, we do see some patterns around two types of search behaviors: direct versus discovery. Direct search, for an example, would be jumping into Google and saying Cali barbecue hours, right? I know where I want to go to eat, but I'm missing a key detail. I need a little bit more information. Discovery, which is the bulk of searches, is barbecue in San Diego, restaurants near me, takeout near me, right? One of the best ways to be found for more discovery searches is leveraging keywords. Reviews are basically free content for you to leverage. Think about keywords that are relevant to your brand, your location, and include as many of those in your review responses as possible, right? How can you go about doing this? Let's set up reports, utilize tools like Google Trends, find out what's going on in your area and how you can help leverage these keywords and review responses, because someone else is doing that, right? If you need some examples, you could do anything from including summer menu, gluten-free menu, leverage specific menu items like the dreaded and beloved spice pumpkin anything in your review responses, right? Let them know what's coming. Let your reviewers know something they should come back and try. And of course, if all of this just seems overwhelming and daunting because you're already running a restaurant and have enough on your plate, just leverage the team at Marquee to do this for you. We handle all of this. We're experts in this space. We can automate this so it's just another item that you know you are taking care of. Again, that's marquee.com, marquii.com. No you. However, we did recently buy marquii.com. So if you do misspell it, we got you. You'll still find us. We can still help you.
What I love talking to you and talking to Priyam and the team at Voosh is just understanding what we believe in our heart. And that's that the problems that I have as a restaurant owner in San Diego, they're the same problems that somebody in New York has, the same problems that a restaurant owner in Bangalore has, the same in Bulgaria. I go to Bulgaria, to the village, and what we call digital hospitality, ordering things online, a brick and mortar business now acting like an e-commerce company. These things are so important to sustainability, to profitability. When you think about building Voosh, what was the core product that you started with?
Yeah, so the core product, as I told you, when we started, it was selling franchisees, like the digital franchisees. We'll go to these unorganized restaurants in India and we'll sort of give them our brand, our entire SOPs, our technology, and we'll give them distribution on online channels only. So offline, they can run their own shop, but online is something where they'll deliver from the brand name Voosh. So that was the first core offering. Right now, we are doing something different. We are a SaaS company primarily focused in the US market, right? And we are solving for the delivery space, the entire off-premise, right? We cater to DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub primarily, and then there are multiple products that we have built on top to ensure that there's a very seamless experience for the off-premise business for restaurants.
It's interesting. When did you identify, when you came into the US market, where did you identify these glaring problems that you saw? How did you identify?
Correct. I think the identification started from India itself. All these problems that we are solving today for consumers globally started from India. It's actually the same as you're saying, right? That restaurants across the world face very similar problems. And we internally, when we were doing, at peak in India, we had more than 200 outlets who were part of a franchisee. And we were running 5 brands on an average on each outlet, right? And optimizing and maximizing the revenue for each one of these outlets, right? So just imagine 200 outlets into 3 channel of distribution. So in the US, there is DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. In India, there is Swiggy, Zomato, and Amazon, right? So putting it on them and then managing it across. So basically, we have 600 or more data sources, right, where we're getting in the data. Now we have to run promotions on it. We need to run disputes on it. We need to do financial reconciliation. We need to do reporting. We need to sort of do review management, everything. We built it at a very fast pace but that was all internal, right? No software was there. Otherwise, we would have taken that software, right? Now with this problem statement, we started talking to people across the world. We started talking to people in India. We started talking to people in the Southeast Asia. And we started talking to people in the US as well, right? And we realized the problem remains the same across the world, right? And so yeah, that's how we sort of that's how the problem got identified at the first place.
How do you partner with restaurants to help them with third-party promotions?
So the first problem that we are solving, which is already live in our product, is promotions configuration and promotions and reporting. So you can just go to our dashboard and you can select all the outlets for which you want to run a particular promotion or an ads, which is, let's say, a sponsored listing. And then in a single click, our software will ensure that all of that is configured. Once that is done, you'll see another dashboard which will show you the reporting part of it. So all the analytics that, okay, what is the ROI on each promotion? What is the ROI on each ads? How many promotions are lapsed or how many ads are lapsed? And what is how well some promotion is performing or how well an outlet or a brand is performing. All of that becomes part of the analytical bit that is part of the dashboard. Now, this is the first part that we have solved. Right now, what we are working on is on the AI enablement. So going forward, Voosh.ai will be able to run, optimize, and sort of get you the highest ROI on each of your promotions and ads going forward. So that is a big project that the entire team is working on, so that the restaurateur doesn't have to spend time in understanding the data, optimizing it, and ensuring that he's getting more money for each promotions or ads that he's running. With Voosh.ai, they'll be able to do it at an automated level.
Well, what I love is the accountability part for me as a restaurant owner, thinking about, we run promotions on DoorDash, we run promotions on Uber Eats. Grubhub's not very big in San Diego, so we don't, do a high volume of Grubhub business, but thinking of having software that acts as my partner to hold them accountable, to actually give data so that I know that, yes, this software, this promotion is actually a beneficial promotion to my business.
Correct. So that's what you can seamlessly do with our software, and that all of that is already live.
When you guys just launched something with EZCater, can you share a little bit about that? We're actually in the process of crazy enough, we're not on EZCater, but right now we're in the process of onboarding an EZCater. Catering is a huge part of our growth strategy for 2024. So we obviously want to do more EZCater business. What are you guys doing with EZCater?
So EZCater, we have integrated with in terms of the entire financial reporting along with the sales reporting. So in the Voosh dashboard, you'll be able to track the entire sales number of EZCater, whatever you are doing. Along with that, we'll also give you the entire financial part of it, that, okay, how much was the sales, what was the commission, what was the other deductions and payables, and what exactly you should be receiving. All of that in terms of, let's say, beautiful analytics. And then you can also download these reports, share these reports. So that just makes your entire job of managing the finances and sales part of EZCater in a single place, which is Voosh dashboard.
That's very exciting. Did you also recently released something with review management?
Correct. So how we started was that we had DoorDash integrated, Uber Eats and Grubhub integrated, wherein we were giving our users the ability to see every review in a single place. Then our AI was automatically replying to those reviews like your personal customer assistant. And we were also giving sentiment analysis, wherein we were saying that, okay, our AI will read all your reviews and then bucket those reviews into meaningful buckets or categories, so that you know that, okay, what is the biggest category that I should be working this week or this month, right? So let's say, is it a quality issue? Is it a taste issue? Or is it a freshness issue? That you can't read 1,000 reviews, right? If my AI can read that and can give you those specifications, that is what we were doing. Now we have added two more channels along with the old three, which is Google and Yelp. So, and that makes this a complete solution for any restaurant, both online and offline, to manage the entire reputation of their restaurant in a single place, right from reading, right from analyzing, and right from and then to replying to these reviews from a single place enabled via AI.
How many people are working at Voosh now?
It's around 25 folks. It's a team of 25 people. Yeah.
It's exciting. How do you see growth in 2024? What's big? What's on the product roadmap?
That's a very good
roadmap. We're working on that. That's on the roadmap.
Correct. That's a very good question. I think 2024 looks very promising. The kind of product reviews that we are getting, how our customers are benefiting every month from our various products in terms of the repeat business that they have generated, the money that they have gotten back in chargebacks, the accountability that they're holding with their team is phenomenal. And as I was saying earlier, right, the first 100 customers should be so loving towards Voosh that they go and tell other folks. So touch wood, luckily that is happening. What's on the product roadmap is a very interesting question. First thing that we are launching is DoorDash Drive Disputes, which basically lets you dispute any order that you have fulfilled via DoorDash Drive. Now, DoorDash Drive is the direct ordering platform of DoorDash, right? Wherein DoorDash gives you the riders for your delivery, which happens from your self-delivery, right? So that is what we are working on. As I told you, we are working on the promotions AI, so that the AI will be able to automate that. Third, we are building a third-party reconciliation tool. Basically, there are discrepancies between what you see in your POS versus what DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub show you as orders, and then what you have hit in the bank. So we are building this three-way reconciliation, which will help you understand where the gaps are, and it will help you sort of fulfill it in a very, very automated way. Other than that, there's another module that we are working on, which is alerts and notifications. So let's say Shawn is running a restaurant, and then Shawn wants to get a notification if any order has a star below 3 star, right? So we'll be able to give you that alert, right? Let's say your inaccuracy rate is more than 5%, you want an alert. Let's say your dispute rate has gone above 10%, you need an alert. It could be on SMS, it could be on email, and the same could happen for team management. Let's say in your 20 outlets, right? You have 20 managers, store managers. You want to tell them about a specific thing whenever it goes wrong, right? Or whenever that is happening in a good way. With Voosh, you'll be able to configure very, very personalized, very, very specific alerts and notifications to yourself and your team members, right? So that brings your entire team in a very accountable fashion to work towards customer success, right? So going forward, you don't have to send a report over Excel or anything else, right? The Voosh dashboard or the Voosh software will anyhow intimate the store manager or your team member, and will tell them that, okay, can we improve on this part? your downtime is going higher. Your store has been closed for more than 2 days in a row, right? Is there a problem going on, right? Or your downtime is more than 20%. It should not be more than 5%, right? So all of that is something that we are building. Uh, yeah, I think this is like the immediate roadmap. There's a bigger roadmap for sure. But yeah, this is the immediate roadmap.
Do you have any recent case studies, any clients that you've worked with here in the United States where they, onboarded
Correct.
with Voosh and just can't believe the results that they're getting?
Yeah, correct. Definitely. I think there is one. One is Chop Shop. The other one is Nukes. The other one that I feel we are working on case studies is I think Kitchen United. So all of them we are working together on a case study. I think each one of our clients, right, definitely love us, and we are definitely providing the ROI, right? So the software is not just there to solve a certain purpose. We are very, very ROI and result focused. So that's how we run our internal team as well. That uh, basically it's like what ROI are we delivering to our customers every month? Is it high? Is it getting low? Can we optimize it? How can we make it better? What other products should we add so that the entire ecosystem gives higher ROI to our clients? So I think people are definitely coming up to give us great case studies, and that is going in a good direction. Yeah.
So I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your YouTube channel, your Instagram channel. You're a
Yeah,
storyteller, and I appreciate
yeah,
anybody that listens to this show. No
yeah,
one's coming to tell your story, and more
yeah.
importantly, when you start telling not just your story, you learn that you can tell other people's stories. You're doing business
Correct,
case study breakdowns on your channel.
correct,
Can you talk a little bit
correct,
about why you're doing it and how you're going about doing
correct.
it?
Correct, correct. So recently started that up. What I do is I go and study a particular business, learn from it, and then sort of summarize that information into shareable piece of content, right? That's what I do on YouTube as well as on Instagram. That's a personal passion project that I'm doing. The primary motive behind that is to learn myself every week, right? So this is like forced learning. I am ensuring that I'm learning about different businesses, how they got successful, what were the failures that they faced, what were the struggles that they did, and to conquer that particular problem, what business strategies did a particular business implement it to give them such massive success that they have today. Yeah. So, and inherently, once I learn this, I'll be able to apply it to my company, which is Voosh, right? So, as founders, there are one of very important job for me is to constantly learn and then implement those learning in my own business and take it to another level. So, I think that's the loop that I'm creating.
Well, the beautiful thing about what you're doing, which I don't think most people understand, is when you look at somebody that's creating content on YouTube, you think that you're doing it to build a massive audience. You're doing it to
Yeah.
build it for yourself. You're literally
Yeah.
cataloging. You're making notes for yourself, and that's partly what we do with our shows. When we create shows, I'm
Correct.
having conversations with the most interesting people that I would love to have a conversation with. I'm documenting. I give the listener, the viewer, a chance to sit down. But really,
Yeah.
for me, I'm learning. I'm learning, from the best people on earth, and just
Very
the act
true.
of doing that. Plus, it
Yeah.
forces you every week, every day that you publish to learn how to do it a little bit better, because the internet
Correct. Correct.
algorithms change at such a rate that you need to figure out YouTube, you need to figure out Instagram, you need to figure out TikTok, and the more that you
Correct.
do that, the more ahead of the game you are than everyone else.
Totally. Totally. I think the very, very similar insights, very, very similar experience. It's the way we learn, right? And the way we learn is the way we sort of go and implement and sort of decode a particular problem in a much better way. And that too is happening at a, let's say, an exponential level. Why? Because every week we are upskilling ourselves, right?
Yes.
Related to business problems and business solutions. So yeah, that definitely compounds over the long term.
What's the handle for people to follow your channel? We'll put a link in the show notes, but
Yeah.
spell it out for the people listening.
It's by my name, Kshitiz Sanghi. The spelling is a little difficult, I'm sure, but I think that is something that people can check from the description. But the name, it's the name Kshitiz Sanghi on both Instagram and YouTube.
And then Voosh, where can people find more information about Voosh?
I think the best place is our website, Voosh.ai. That is where you'll see the latest product videos, the latest customer testimonial, case studies. And recently we have started with a very insightful blog, which is very, very heavily focused towards the hospitality industry and the restaurant industry, right? How can we add more knowledge for our audience, which are core restaurateurs and big hospitality brands? So I think that is something, the blog is something that the audience should definitely check out.
So now when I go on your website, I see Chris Munns. Is he actually on the website every single, is he 365 days? Do you give him any days off? I see his avatar, but the poor guy.
We definitely give him a off, and
We give him
he's
a
there.
little time off.
Little bit time off.
But to be honest with you,
coffees.
I love the personalization. I love the personalization. I know that he gets notified just as if I would get notified, but like, that's how you
Correct.
do things that aren't scalable. You know, what isn't scalable?
Exactly.
You care about every customer that inquires when they come to your website. Well, you're going to put your best man on the job to make sure that that gets handled.
Exactly. Again, it circles back to the same thing what Brian Chesky said. You have to do things which are non-scalable so that your customers should absolutely become your lovers, and they should absolutely go and promote your product everywhere they go. They should be talking about your product, how the ROI and how the impact has been on their life. So stems from the same thing.
Talking about, it's the principles that we talk about on this show, Digital Hospitality. The reason why our business changed, our restaurant business back in 2010, was we made an investment in the host, because our restaurant is out in a way that you don't know that it's the front of the restaurant. We said, instead of between lunch and dinner, we're going to actually pay, instead of cutting the host, we're going to pay to make sure that there's always a human at the front of the door. So there's always a human when they come into our restaurant, and that costs us money, but that improved our hospitality. And what you're doing, having Chris's avatar, whether it's Chris or somebody that's covering for Chris, it's having a human at the heart of the technology. Every person that comes to visit you, you care about deeply.
Correct. Exactly. I think that's the right correlation, Shawn.
That's amazing.
And very interesting about what you did with the entire human sort of coming and hosting the guests and talking to them, ensuring that they have a great experience. I think, again, that's the only thing that matters in the long term.
Humans are at the heart of technology. As great as the automation, as the AI, the machine learning, all of it, like, it's the humans at Voosh that I believe in, the people that I've interacted with. And that's why I love doing this show, because I get to meet, you guys at an early stage. Imagine what Voosh will look like in next year, and imagine what it'll look like 5 years and 10 years from now.
Correct. Definitely.
Is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to share with the audience? Any parting words of wisdom? Do you have a favorite quote?
I think the only quote that right now I am obsessed with, I keep on reading, so that's next month I'll meet you, maybe it's different. But right now the quote is fail forward with a full stop. Nothing more than that.
Fail forward.
It's my life. I'm gonna learn, but the only fail that I can only fail forward, not backward. Like I cannot repeat what I've already done as a mistake. Any new mistake is welcome, but old mistakes are not. So that's the meaning of it.
That's great. Yeah, I will. I take that to heart. I love that. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. We're going to put links into the show notes. As always, you guys, please join us. We do weekly calls. That way we have a live podcast for you to join us on LinkedIn Live or on Clubhouse Live. Send me a DM at Shawn P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef, and I will send you a link to those rooms. That way we can learn about you, the listener, whoever's watching this. We want to hear about your restaurant, your struggles, your triumphs. If you're in technology, if you're in sales, marketing, we're all trying to figure this thing out together. And as my grandfather always says, is stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Thank you guys, and we will catch you all next week. Thanks.